Hi, in this video I'm just going to show you the syncing process. I'm assuming you've downloaded your data from GSFE, so I've done that here. And I've got my classes, I've downloaded my students and my teachers, and I've got the data from my school information system by copying it across or dragging it across using this window. And now I want to sync the data. So this button here will open this window. So this part is the setting for getting the GSFE classes data. So that's how you apply filters. So that those fields are populated from the other table, the other window, where you can set that, and you can change it here as well. So they record whatever your latest settings are. This section is for scheduling the sync. When do you want to do it? If you want to do it automatically, and when you do it, what do you want to do with these things? Do you want to download classes? Do you want to download teachers and students from GSFE? Do you want to automatically import the data from your sys data from your tables? If that's getting, you don't need to do that automatically unless that's being automatically updated from somewhere. And then here is where you decide what to sync. You can base your sync on the class name, if that's unique, on the class and section, if those two together are unique, or on the description heading, if that's unique. So I use the description heading. That's a field that Google no longer display in the settings, so that nobody can change it. And I use it as a unique field identifier. You can then decide whether to identify classes to add and remove. So that will just put a yes next to, in the delete column next to the classes on the class page, to say, yeah, you need to delete this. Or you can, and it will add additional classes if it thinks you need additional classes, as in it will list them at the bottom of the page. And then this will, you can decide whether to make that class creation process and manual or automatic, and then adding teachers automatic or manual, and adding students automatic or manual. So these things, the first thing it does is to add the additional teacher information at the bottom of the GSFE class page, add the additional student information at the bottom of the GSFE class page, and it puts a Y in the column, the delete column, if it thinks you need to delete a particular record. So these will, and then you can choose either to manually add or manually delete these things. So the sync process will flag them, and if you leave these as manual, you can choose to choose later to add or delete them. But if you set them to automatic, it will, as part of the process, it will flag them and then add or delete them. And then this one is for how often you want to get summary information about assignments and announcements, or you can get them manually straight away here. So once you've set your settings, you can save the sync rules, and it will do it on whatever frequency you've set here, or you can sync now. So, oh, sorry, just one last thing. If you're setting sync, you have to switch the triggers on. So the trigger runs every hour and then checks against these settings to decide whether to do these things, whether this is an appropriate hour in which to do those things. Or you can do a manual sync now. So the manual sync is comparing the list of classes in GSFE against the class list from that you've downloaded from your school information system, comparing those two to see what the discrepancies are. It takes the SIS information as the source of truth. So it says if there's a class in there that's not in the GSFE class page, then I need to add it. And if there's a class in the GSFE class page that's not in this page, then I need to flag it for deletion. You need to be careful with that if teachers have manually created classes that they want for other reasons outside your school information system. So I've got teachers who put together music groups and extra teaching groups for things. You don't want to be deleting those if that's what they want to do, or at least I don't want to do that. So it compares the classes, then it compares the teachers, and it compares the students. So in my setup, there are about 2,000 classes, 1,500 of those are live, as in relevant first year. There are around about 30,000 student records, as in students who belong to those classes, and around about 2,000 teacher records. So it's going through and comparing all of those and adding records on if it wants them to be added, and flagging ones that need to be deleted as needing to be deleted. So it takes a little while, I don't know, 5-10 minutes to do that. And it will feel like forever, and it will feel like it's not doing anything, but it is. But you don't want to sit there and watch a spinning wheel. So I'm just going to pause the video until it's finished. So when it finishes, the window comes back and that's synced, and now you can go, or the way I've set it up, I can go off and check if I need to create any classes, add any teachers, add any students, delete the classes, remove teachers or remove students. So if I close that, it wants me to delete all those classes, which are all set up for various things that aren't part of the normal sync. But I'm going to ignore them. Those are the old ones that aren't part of the live data. And I need to make to add any new ones. And it's got a couple down here. So new ones that he wants to add have been listed here. Just create those. And it does the same thing for teachers and for students, so you can go and decide whether you want to follow what it's saying or not. I don't about the classes, but I probably will for the students. So once you've got it, once you're happy with what it's doing, you're comfortable with that. So if you don't want to cover all of these classes that it's suggesting I delete, leave them out of your list or remove them from the list before you sync it. I hope that helps. Sorry it was a bit waffly. Thanks for watching. Bye.